especially my mom.
I think that's another good reason for parents to bounce things off of each other.
Sure.
Because one parent may have learned something that the other one is getting ready to go through.
Oh, yeah.
That they can share.
Yeah.
I can actually share something with you real quick. When these kids get out of high school, they're being babysit by the teachers and everything, and when they get out, it's like a blow up to them. I don't know what's going on. The parents saying you need a good job, and they're going to college. It's just,
life change.
it's a big, huge change.
And even
for
just,
kids.
you know, just minor, well, what seem to be minor issues like balancing a checkbook, things like that. Like, I mean, how many parents actually sit down with their kids and teach them, show them how to balance a checkbook? You know, I mean, you just throw them out in the world and they just, you know, they're broke within 4 months because, you know, they're spending all this money, not watching where it's going.
Anyway, finances.
Well, I have a thought on that. I do agree that we need to get the parents involved, but as far as we all matter, a lot of these kids that are going to come here and talk about, you know, that they think they're committing suicide or thinking about it or whatever, they're not going to go to their parents.
Sure,
Exactly
absolutely
right.
not.
And we need to have people here that are young enough to where the kids will identify with them, but responsible enough to take care of what needs to be taken care of.
Yeah, absolutely.
I know a lot of kids, like when I was in high school, there was no way I was going to my student counselor.
Right.
They don't counsel you. They tell you what classes you need to be in, and that's it. You know, there was no one person at that school that you could go to.
Right.
To if you were having lifestyle problems or you know bad things were happening at home, there was nowhere for you to go except for maybe a teacher. And so I know that we need to get it, you know, parents involved as much as possible, but we also have to realize a lot of these kids aren't going to talk to parents.
Well, what I was insinuating was that parents' meetings are separate.
Well, I agree with that, but you also have to think how many kids are actually going to come to the meeting when their parents
Just a
have a
parents'
parents'
meeting.
meeting
No kids, just
one night
parents.
and then a kids' meeting.
Have them have a support group for parents.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, let me just say, Spread is going to be focused mostly on just the kids themselves. I mean, and we do want the parents to be involved as much as they want to be, but I mean, our main focus is going to be the kids. And I mean, we can do.
Parents at your
Oh, sure, yeah. I mean, we can do.
No, I understand that, but I think that there needs to be, it's just as hard on the parents
Sure.
as it is for the children. And so the parents, you know, the parents have, their whole life were raised back in the older days and things were, you know, taboo that nowadays, so they have a hard time accepting it. They need to have a group where they have a support group where they learn that this isn't a bad thing, this is part of nature. Then they need to have people to talk to that have gone through it and say, listen, this is the same person that you've been with your whole life. They're a good person. It has nothing to do with that. You have to learn to change the way that you think. So parents need that education as much as the children.
Absolutely. Yes.
They can just bounce off of each other.
I think there should be some integrated things with parents because number one, it shows the kids that the parents are supporting them.
Right, absolutely.
And they don't have to sit there and monitor what each others are saying, but if there was a situation where the parents could come and sit at a separate table and visit among themselves and the kids, but I think the thing of getting all the kids together is one of the problems that you're trying to work with is because kids is wallflowers. They feel like they're in the wrong place. The more they can associate with other kids and feel like they're part of them, I think that solves a lot of problems. You know,
Yeah,
I think it makes them feel
and that's a big thing that we want to do
accepted.
also. That's a huge thing that we want to do. Just, you know, bring, you know, you may be a part of this group and see somebody over here and you just instantly judge them because they're not a part of your group, but you know, just maybe a Anna, I think that's
word of mouth is not going to make this happen.
Oh yeah, absolutely not.
You're going to have to think of some inexpensive ways, you know, to get your word out there. Maybe go to some churches, youth groups, and put up, give them a little flyer, and to the Sunday school teachers, and all those kind of things that don't cost you a lot of money. But if you're just waiting for kids to go out and say to some other kid, let's go to the spread meeting or whatever.
Oh yeah, no, we're absolutely not just going to do that. We're not just waiting on them to come to us. No, we're going to reach out to them. We're going to start by going to the schools, talking with a group of kids to figure out what kind of events they would be interested in being a part of, so that we can take that into account when we are hosting these events.
Another thing, when the grown, when the adults are not here, you can have panels to discuss different things. If this kid, or these 2 or 3 kids having trouble being abused by their date or being abused by their parents, then y'all can all sit there openly and discuss that and what can be done about it and how it can be handled among yourselves.
Yeah.
And I think that'd be a good thing too, because like several people have said, they had nobody to talk to.
Right. Oh yeah, no, and a lot of kids feel that way.
Your boyfriend's beating you up on your dates, and you can go ahead and talk about that. So,
right.
And then also you need a good karate teacher.
No, and actually I thought about that the other night. I was like, we should really have a self-defense course. Once we get our venue up, we should have a self-defense course, guys.
Amber can teach.
She's a flag.
All right. Oh, that's awesome. Yeah, no, I think that would be perfect. But yeah, no, I mean, there's so much that we want to do. Obviously, we can't do everything that we want to do, at least not at this point. But yeah, like I said, we're always open to ideas, suggestions. We have a Facebook page as well. We all have email addresses. Contact us anytime. You want to call us. You want to, bounce an idea off of us. We are absolutely willing to do anything that we need to do.
We already actually been in the school system doing things at the high school, so.
I know Austin said he wanted to get a meeting with the principal.
Yeah.
And get him involved so he knows what's going on.
Yes.
And so maybe he can do assemblies, where Spread and We All Matter can come in and talk to, an auditorium full of teenagers.
It needs to start in the middle school, so before they.
I agree with that.
Yeah.
Middle school children are more apt to listen. High school kids, you're going to have to really grab their attention.
And you
Right,
can go
yeah.
as low as elementary school, you just have to
Tone it down.
Right.
Focus on bullying and stuff like that.
Yeah.
bullying especially. Because I know, I have a kindergartner and it's bullying a big deal in kindergarten.
And it's so sad to me. It's just, I don't know. There are many different directions we could go with this, and I could stand up here all day talking about it, but it's just really sad to me how kids learn this behavior of it's okay to pick on somebody who's different than you.
And we also have instilled in the kids that tattletelling.
Yeah.
Kids aren't going to somebody and letting them know what's happening because they don't want to get in trouble for telling.
Yeah.
I remember in 4th grade, I got my card pulled or something because I tattletaled on someone.
And it still happens.
And
What happens these days when kids say something, especially in high school or middle school, it gets thrown all over Facebook.
Yes, the rumors start
everything.
flying and then people gang up.
And that exact thing happened to me too, because it's kind of a funny story, I guess. It was a proud day for my dad, but when I was in kindergarten, I was getting picked on by this boy. I guess he liked me, and I tried to tell the teacher, and I got in trouble for tattletelling, and finally the little boy pinned me down and kissed me, and so I punched him in his face, and I got in trouble, and I didn't get suspended, but they called my dad. He had to come up there and everything, and and of course my dad was like, you can't hit people, but way to go, but still, just like that.
I think that we need to separate to let them know there are some things that you have to tell someone because you cannot keep it all inside.
When you were in kindergarten, Autumn, and a little boy.
Yes, I had a little boy try to kiss me, and he told me if I told anybody he was going to bring his dad's shotgun to school and shoot me.
Oh yeah, I called a meeting with the principal and his parents. I
Right.
thought, this is a kindergarten.
Because I came home terrified.
Yeah.
I came home absolutely terrified that I was going to get shot by a little boy in the playground.
Right.
And it took my mom actually having to come down there and make a big deal out of it for anything to be done.
Right, but you know what though, when you get to high school,
It's
even
been
middle
for
school,
yourself.
You don't start it.
you can't bring your parent down to school.
Right.
You can't to deal with a bully. That's
Right. We've
that's so
got to
lame.
train people
Right.
on what needs to be done in what situations.
Yeah, I remember having an issue with one of my teachers in high school, and my dad was like, "Well, do you want me to write him a note?"
Right.
I'm like, "Yeah, Dad, write him a note. That's
That's
exactly what I
yeah.
need you to do. Write him a note."
It's
Because I'm
gonna
4,
change
and that's what we do.
Yeah.
No, but yeah, no, we do. But no, that's we need to give the kids a place where they can have people that they relate to that aren't their parents.
When I was in actually elementary, our elementary